And Rita, tell us, how did you obtain the opportunity to sing backup for so many great singers initially?
They called me.
but it's incredible. If you look at that list before you released your first album, the amount of top singers that you sang backup for, you can't compare. How did it start happening? Because it happened quickly.
I imagine that when I moved from Memphis to Los Angeles in 1968, I left and went out with Delaney and Bonnie. Had invited me to sing on their first album for Elektra Records, and before I left Memphis, I had been singing with a jingle company, Pepper Tanner, and who later formed Pepper Records, and I recorded the first single for Pepper Records, and it became a regional hit in Los Angeles and a couple of other cities, Phoenix and San Antonio or something like that. So when I arrived in LA, I had a #1 single. So people in the music industry immediately knew who I was. So it wasn't that hard to start singing with, for instance, Delaney and Bonnie. They had already invited me to sing on their album. And they were, to me, absolutely the best band that I ever worked with.
Why?
Because they were the greatest singers. They came from the same gospel, southern rock and roll roots that I did, and we were like a family. We really spent all the time singing. We sang on the bus all day if we were traveling. We'd get to sound check and of course sing and do the show, and after the show we'd go back to somebody's room and sing until the wee hours of the morning. We just loved singing. So I think that all of that great experience, and then of course Mad Dogs and Englishmen tour, because I put the choir together for that. So people just assumed that I was, and I could read music, which is kind of good if you're going to be contracting sessions, and had pretty good ideas for background parts. So word spread.